We are now going to demonstrate two methods of hemostasis. Firstly, a single vessel in a small bowel mesentery. We start out by picking up the peritoneum just over the vessel and very gently dividing that leaf of peritoneum, being careful not to go right the way through. At all times, we must avoid damaging the vessel. Very gently start to isolate the vessel, and then it can be picked up gently, and the scissors can be used to tease their way underneath the vessel. The instruments here look massive, but this is because it's such a small vessel that we're isolating. One can see here the vessel and the small strand of peritoneum that can be picked up and gently divided, leaving us with the vessel in isolation. A hemostat or other suitable clip can then be passed under the vessel and a fine tie inserted into it and drawn through. Be careful not to cheese wire through the vessel or to pull on it too hard, as this vessel is very fine. Tie a carefully laid reef knot using the index finger to snug it down rather than to pull on the vessel. 3 throws are required once again, each laid properly. Having tied the knot, place that in a hemostat and lay to one side. Once again, pass a hemostat or clip under the vessel and place into this a similar fine tie, again being careful not to snag it on the vessel. Then tie a reef knot so that the vessel has been tied twice in continuity. Once a second reef knot has been satisfactorily tied and the ends of the suture material placed in a hemostat, then the vessel can be divided between the 2 knots, the suture material cut, and there we have a ligated and divided vessel. The other method of hemostasis to be demonstrated is more suitable for pedicle ligation. Here we see a leash of vessels, again in the small bowel mesentery. We are going to divide this leash using a different technique. In this situation, the peritoneum is divided through both leaves of the small bowel mesentery, either side of the leash of vessels. The entire pedicle is then picked up and placed in a hemostat, which is laid down gently, and a second hemostat is placed as demonstrated here. The pedicle can then be divided with scissors, and a suture placed round each of the hemostats and tied, again using a reef knot. When the first tie is snugged down, instructions are given to the assistant to release the hemostat gently, and then the knot can be completed. The suture material can then be cut immediately. A similar tie is placed around the other hemostat, and once again instructions given to the assistant to release the hemostat once the first throw is satisfactorily tightened down. 2 more throws can be placed, laid properly, and then the suture material cut. This technique is suitable for pedicles throughout the body.